had Copper Compass Distillery. You know, showing love to my man Herb Banks, retired CMC. Did 22, 23 years, somewhere around there, but he'll talk about it. We'll talk about it if I'm wrong off that number. But yeah, we out here just chilling, vibing. You know, we got a couple of drinks. Again, he's gonna tell you about the place. We're gonna dig deep into like his life upbringing, why he joined the military, and why he wanted to start a distillery. So, Herb, thanks for coming on, my brother. Thanks for having us.
Man, thank y'all for coming. Y'all took the trip, not me, man. So I appreciate you burning up the gas.
It's all good.
Before we get started, though, we gotta do a little cheers.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Before we even get into the conversation, you know, cheers, brothers. You know,
Navy Chief.
Navy Pride.
Oh, that's good too.
Good stuff.
That's good too. Herb and I go back a long time ago where I didn't know who he was later on through my guy Seth Gaines, but he was like, man, this guy said he know you. He was your instructor, blah, 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 blah. So it was like, huh? You know, because I had a lot of students at that time. But then when I seen a picture of him as a plane captain in the squadron, I said, I remember that face.
Yeah.
I remember that face. So it's good to see, like, you know, one of your own that you know that you taught coming up in the Navy being successful right now. You know, making Master Chief and all of that. And retiring and doing this thing. So tell us why you want to say, I know we had this conversation before, you and I, on the top 5 ghosts, but with everything that was going on back then in the DC area, what made you say, hey, I got to make a choice or make a decision? Because back then we didn't really have nothing but, like Biggie said, you selling crack box or you got a wicked jump shot.
Yeah.
You know, that's all we had back then.
Yeah, my choices was limited because my jumper wasn't hitting on shit. Limited choices, baby.
Right, so you got limited choices.
Yeah.
You can stay in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Look, I got a good friend of mine. He just came home off long stress. He came home and he's like, man, Herb, see, you different. You got nervous to join the service. But he right though, like that, like all my friends was getting killed. They was going away for a long time. Yeah. And I was right in the middle of that, and I needed an instant life change. I needed to do something different if I was going to get some different results. And at the time, my grandfather was like, man, look, you getting up out of here. You're going to be 18 pretty soon. You got to go. I'm not, because my dad died as a result of the streets.
Okay.
He's like, I ain't dealing with this no more. It's like, all right. And it was out of sheer happenstance where, like, recruiter just called the house and was like, look, I want to come by. In fact, I still keep in contact with him. He lived right around the corner from me.
Wow.
My recruiter put me in the Navy.
Good. That's good.
So he came to the house, and rest is history. It took me down there to take that practice ASVAB a couple times. I took the took the ASVAB a couple times. And then when I finally took the ASVAB, the minimum score was a 31. I cut a 32 on the test.
Okay.
So, yeah. I slipped and fell in the Navy.
But you made it.
Yeah, I made it. I used to be so ashamed of that, man. I'm like, man, I can't believe.
Because people ask, because back then, people say, what's your ASVAB score? Right.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that got over 60 or 70.
Right.
They want to boast on it.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your ASVAB? Challenging me.
Yeah. And the nukes. Yeah.
It's like the credit score.
Yeah, exactly. right. Yeah, I cut a 32 on that jump, man. I qualified for undesignated and mess specialist, cook at the time. That was either a cook or undesignated. I was like, man, I ain't peeling potatoes for 5,000 motherfuckers, man. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to see what these airplanes talking about. Change some oil, turn a wrench or two. Yeah. So when it got time for me to strike, I forgot about the ASVAB during that time. They looked at my score. They was like, you don't qualify for nothing.
Oh, dang.
So you want to be a cook? I said, nah, man, they boiling water back there. I don't want to be no cook.
Right.
So I had to go through this 8-month-long, like, on-base, like, classes.
I remember
the prep, get my...
To take the ASVAB again.
Look, took the ASVAB again. I went from 32, 3 years later, I cut a 38.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember my chief, man, rest in peace, Chief Dudley. He was like, shit, man, you got a fucking learning disability? I said, clearly.
Yeah.
But I ended up having to get a waiver to strike PH at the time because I was 8 points shy of qualifying for PH.
Yeah.
Got the waiver approved, struck PH, and I made third class with 2 weeks left in the Navy on my first enlistment. I was about to say, look, my first class at the time was working in TARPs in F-14 squadron. My first class said, man, what you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna do what I'm good at. I'm gonna go home and pump this coke. I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah.
He said, well, what if I could get you a job at home? I said, I got a job at home. I got a plan.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm going to do. I know that. I've been there before, so I know what that's about.
I got a resume there. I'm good. I'm tenured.
Yeah.
He said, what if I get you a job at home and you don't have to sell no cocaine? You don't have to get in no trouble. 18-1 mother. I never forget it. I said, what you mean? You gonna find me, help me find a job? He said, I get you orders to DC. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You got my attention. You know?
Right.
So he say, you think you get a security clearance? I was like, what's that? I didn't even know what security clearance was. So he tell me about it. It took me like 2 weeks to fill out that big ass Bible.
That's old school. That was papers back in the day.
I had to fill it out by hand.
It
was SF-82 or something like that.
Yep.
I fill that joint out. I was able to get the TSSCI. Got them orders to Office of Naval Intelligence. That was my second duty station. Now, it sounded good on the surface when he was like, yeah, you get orders at home. And I'm like, yeah, I'm back home. I'm back in the mix. You
ain't close though. You ain't close enough though.
Man, I'm in the go-go every Friday night.
Yeah.
Go see backyard whenever I want. Running the street 100 miles an hour. And then I start like getting in trouble, like skirmishes and stuff like this. Like this is why I left. Right. And I'm right back here in the middle of all this.
Right.
Then my oldest son was born during that time, and like it was rough. That I found myself like struggling, like trying to like stay on this track. Because you get in trouble with that clearance, it's a different ball game. Yeah. And now I done took the second class exam probably 7-8 times. Chief said, you think you passed? I put a gun in your head? I was like, I don't know, Chief. You might blow my brains out that day.
Right.
Can't pass the test. I think 8th or 9th time, something like that, when I finally passed it, I made 5 as I'm leaving O&I. Got orders down to USS Saipan. That was the best thing that ever happened to me. I said, man, I got to get out of this town. Like, because my homies, they still here doing what we grew up doing.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought I was past that, but I still got that juice rush in my gym, like the adrenaline rush.
You still was in your 20s.
Yeah, I'm young, right?
You still in your 20s.
Get a steady check, you know?
Yeah.
And then my grandfather ended up getting sick. He passed away, and I deal with some, mental health issues as a result of that. Had to navigate that terrain a little bit. Got down to the Saipan. As soon as I get there, they was like, yeah, we decommissioning. I was like, what is, I don't even know what that is. Like, I was a dumb sailor. I ain't know none of this. Just maybe none of it. They tell me about the decommission, but I'd also already heard about combat camera. I said, yeah, I want to do that. That sounds like some dope shit right there. Saipan on the way to decommissioning. We on deployment. I got to negotiate orders. I get orders of combat camera. I got that, man. I fell in love. I said, I don't never want to go back to the real Navy.
What?
This shit crazy. Like, I get to go everywhere, do all the kind of stuff I want to do.
Yeah. We gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Especially with them spec op dudes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, different kind. I forgot I was in the military a few times, man.
What?
I know 7-8 months. I ain't shaved in Iraq. Like I was getting my goatee trimmed. I was like, it's crazy, man.
Like that's the life.
Yeah, it's the life. I said, man, I got about 7-8 months before I go home. It's chilling, Be out there with them guys. It's not like garrison.
Yeah.
So you gotta cook. You live on the compound by yourself. Somebody cooking for you. They live like kings, and then they go out and take care of the business, and then they come back, and that's really where I learned how to do all this at.
Right.
My team.
Who got to you, or did you really have that conversation with yourself, being stationed back at home in your 20s? That's rough.
Yeah, man.
That's rough.
Understatement. Yeah.
Yeah, because you doing good for yourself. Whatever pay grade you at, you might be flexing, flossing here and there, but like, I might be struggling a little bit, but I'm still keeping up with y'all. Right. I know y'all getting different type of money.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
So, but I'm right here with y'all. But how did you stay away from that eventually, to get back on the right course?
My oldest son was born. So it wasn't like, I didn't have like a big guiding like mentor. I think and not to get like overly religious, I think God brought me my oldest kid because he changed my life.
Yeah.
And it was in that moment when I remember the first day I saw him, like something came over me. I was like, man, it's bigger than me now. I was young, I could run the street, do what I want, when I want, and now it's like, I got something to live for. I got somebody to live for. I got somebody depending on me. You know what I mean? My grandfather was sick, his health was declining, so it's like, the inevitable is upon us. But my son, it's like, if I fuck this up, like, I'm killing every shot that he got to make it. So that, like, him being born changed my life, and I wanted to make sure I did the absolute best I could to at least provide a better opportunity than I had as I was coming up through it. You know,
Did your grandfather do a lot with you? Because that seems like you talk about holding on to that.
Yeah. So my grandfather, that was my man. So my mother was, you know, drug addict. My father also. So my paternal grandfather, he the one that raised me, and you know, you learn a lot about people when they pass away. I learned my grandfather he wasn't the person that he was to me. Yeah. And I learned that after he passed away, and I had to tell a bunch of my family, like, look, that might have been how you saw him. That might have been your experience with him, but like, he next to Jesus Christ to me. Gotcha. Like, I worship the ground that dude walk on. Yeah. And I'm gonna keep it like that. I don't give a shit what you, like, what experience you had, that ain't mine. Like, this dude, when my dad got murdered, my mom in the street, he took me in. He had to do that. He took me in. He's 60 plus years old. Like, he walking into retirement. He took me in and like raised me. He ain't had to do none of that. Like, he living off Social Security, so like he's struggling, making sure like I got food in my mouth, clothes on my back. So I always admired my grandfather. After learning what I learned about, like, man, he had to do none of what he did. Right. You know, that was a conscious decision he made. Right. So I always held him in high regard.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Because it's like it's that person that you say like, Dad, they really didn't have to give me that opportunity, but they did.
Nah, yeah, absolutely.
You know, he did. So I always want to make sure I get back in that same manner. Absolutely. I know how it made me feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know how it made you feel. So it's like you want to get that same thing back.
Yeah, gotta pay it forward.
Yeah.
Gotta pay it forward.
And that's so important.
Yeah.
That's so important. And don't be afraid, bro. Like, we go through things based off of what we dealt with. Yeah. You know, no matter if you served for 5 years. Right. You've seen some things in those 5 years. So that's why I always tell people, don't be afraid to get therapy. Yeah. Don't be afraid to talk to someone about it. And it's better sometimes to talk to someone that you don't even know. Come on. A complete stranger. You can really pour out that energy without to that person. No judgment. And guess what? That person may have something going on too. Yeah. I get it, because we all do. Right. We all human. But don't be afraid to sit down and talk with someone, especially for the stuff that we've seen and dealt with.
Look, man, I got two therapists.
Seeing and dealt with. People speak on it like, oh man, everybody got trauma. Yeah,
you're right. But everybody ain't dealing with their trauma.
Everybody ain't dealing with it.
You got to be adult enough to recognize, yes, you do have trauma. Yeah. And that you're actually dealing with it and navigating that passageway to work through it and try to like deal with those issues. So you got stuff in your adulthood that you handle stuff in your adulthood based on how you saw it and experienced in your childhood.
In your childhood, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's been plenty of time, like, you talking to me crazy, that just means you don't want to be here no more.
Right.
You know, but that's why I learned. That's what that environment.
That's that behavior that you learned back then.
Like, I'm big on respect.
Because they don't understand where you come from.
Come on, man. Like, I
they
ain't
don't
just
understand where you come from, what you had to deal with.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Right.
And everybody had to deal with something.
Yeah.
But it's like,
of course.
Yeah, I ain't coming at you crazy, man. Like, leave that alone.
Right, right. It's a struggle, everyday struggle. Like, and that's another thing about therapy. I don't even know how we start talking about this, but like, therapy don't mean you're going to get healed. No, that's not what it means.
Sometimes you just got to talk it out.
You just got to talk it out. But therapy also showing you how to deal with whatever you got going on. Right. Therapy don't equate to healing. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no such thing as healing a mental experience that you got locked in your mind.
No, that's there.
You don't forget it.
No, it's there.
You got to learn how to cope with it for the rest of your life. Right. So that's what I've been, just about 4 years now with that type of therapy.
Yeah.
And like I try to advocate that to everybody, like especially to my brothers approaching retirement. Yeah. Look, this Navy career, it's amazing, man. We have a blast. You have captured a bunch of different experiences. For me, I spent my entire adult life in the Navy. Yes, sir. I was 17 in basic training. Yes, sir. So my entire adult life, so I done spent more time in the Navy than I have as a civilian, right? Most of us have. So as you transitioning out, you're going to have to, life just hits you like that. It's a different life. As soon as you drop that uniform on. Ain't nobody call you Master Chief, ain't nobody taking out your trash. Nah. Right. They looking at you crazy. Yeah. In fact, the second class that called you Master Chief yesterday gonna be like, man, get on my motherfucking face. Yeah. Like,
and you may be working for him or her.
Exactly.
You may be working for him or her.
He or she may be your direct supervisor. It just depends on like the dynamic or wherever you gain employment after that. But it's a whole different lifestyle change. and then you got to navigate the VA, and then it's like, man, I did all of this for what?
Yeah.
Like you start questioning a lot, and that's not to suggest that like all your time was in vain. It wasn't, but like these are the thoughts that start to run through your mind as you're transitioning out of service. So like, man, I would implore everybody. I don't care what your rank is. As you're approaching retirement or separation, man, go sit on somebody's couch.
Yes, sir.
And not just tax
Yes, sir.
or GPS or TGBS.
Right.
Go sit on a professionally trained therapist's couch as you navigate this out of service into like the civilian world and learn how to cope.
Because we're so institutionalized.
Yeah.
You still do things what you did for those 10, 15, 20, 30 odd years.
Come on, man.
That's like you learn. Like you said, you know, as an adult, this is what raised you. So this is the only way you know how to do certain business.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
And like for a period of time, man, like I remember for the first I remember I was getting ready. I was preparing for my retirement ceremony, and I'm on terminal leave. I had to go on base. I think I was rehearsing or do something for my retirement practice, something like that. And my wife kept asking me for like the retirement, my guest list. She just kept asking me, I need your guest list, or I need the hangar bay, or the address, something she needed so she could tell her side of the family what it be. I'm like, man, I'll get it to you.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, what's taking you so long to give it to me? Like, well, I was scared. I was scared to give it to her because I knew, like, I'm approaching this thing. And I didn't want to deal with that. I didn't want to deal with the thought, like, I'm about to drop this pack. And now I'm questioning because I'm dropping the pack to pursue this entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I making the right decision? So the more I fend her off, the more I'm thinking, like, I just don't want to deal with that shit.
Right.
Right?
Makes sense, yeah.
Because you in your mind, like, I'm still early.
Right.
I got time.
I got long legs. I can
got
stretch
time.
this out, right?
Yeah.
I said, man, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I start questioning, like, what am I doing, right? And I remember we had a couch at the time at the foot of our bed. I just remember sitting on that couch crying, and she was like, what's wrong? And I had to explain to her what's wrong. And my wife's a smart woman. I don't think she understood in that moment what I was like going through mentally.
Yeah.
Like, that was rough for me. And then she was like, I knew it was something. Because like I kept procrastinating to give her information. And of course I wanted her family and all that to come to my retirement. So that was a big part of my journey too. Like, appreciate, love them. But I just remember that moment, I was like, man, I don't want to deal with this shit. Like I remember saying that to myself, man, I don't want to deal with this shit. Like, it's scary. It's scary. And I want, if I could send a message to anybody approaching retirement, when you spend your entire grown-up life in this institution, this organization, as beautiful as the Navy is and has been to me, it's scary as shit when you approach retirement, man. But you got we men and women, and we got to learn to look death in the face. And have the confidence of knowing like it's gonna be okay, and it's gonna be okay because the Navy trained you to make sure you had the mental fortitude to succeed and go forward and conquer, right? Yeah. So I had to rest in that, knowing that the Navy trained me to persevere.
Yeah. Right. And you know, to kind of add on to that, I think the only people that would be able to understand that is the people who've been through it.
Like-minded,
So,
absolutely.
Because even for me, as I'm approaching retirement, it has been moments that I was just like, you know, kind of not really accepting it, and then finally accepting it, like, hey, it's coming, and then you start preparing, you know, and that's just like, you know, when you get a set of orders that you never been to before, it's kind of like, that's the same way it happens. When you get those orders, you're kind of nervous about it, like, I ain't never been there, and then it's just like, okay, I know where I'm going, okay, cool, let me reach out, talk to some people who there, what it's about, and then when you get there, you just attack it.
Right.
You know, and then you're like, what was I nervous about?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same process.
Same process.
It's the same process.
It's
now, unlike most processes, you know, people who do retire, they get out and they just relax and chill. You know, but you decide to go a whole nother route. You know, some people, they get bars and clubs, which is cool, but you like, yo, I'm gonna make this stuff. This is what I'm like. That's completely different.
Told you I was stupid. I told you I was stupid. I could have been on the ship right
but
now.
it's good though. It's good.
So what made you even come up with not just, hey, I'm gonna get an establishment, people can come in, relax, chill, have a drink or two, but I'm gonna provide the drink that you relax in.
Like I told you, I learned how to do this during my first Iraq hook. And you play around the garage a little bit, and fast forward, my cousin, I own this business with my cousin April. She was the one pushing it for real more than I was. April's serial entrepreneur, man. Her and her husband own a couple dental offices.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But she was like, "No, let's do it," and kind of the driving force behind it. And she said one thing to me that I just flipped the switch one day. I never forget. She was like, "Was you scared?" And after she asked me if I was scared, I was like, "Man, I ain't scared shit."
Yeah. Hey, I'm a match chief.
Yeah.
You better stop playing.
Yeah. So me and so April and I are 6 months apart in age. So we like brother and sister. We argue to death about every goddamn thing anyway. But when she asked if I was scared, I was like, I ain't about to let this girl play with me like that. Yeah. Right. So now it took us 3.5 years. We just celebrated 2 years yesterday.
That's what's up, man. Congratulations.
Today the 19th.
Congrats.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
We just celebrated 2 years in business, man. Yeah. But so when we got the building, I was August of 19. Started construction, and then COVID hit, and then our general contractor died of COVID. So that kind of like that roughed us up a little bit. We lost a couple dollars there. Back and forth with the county because there ain't no precedent for a GC dying on your project, so you got to troubleshoot that. Push the timeline back a little more.
All this during COVID.
Yeah, all this during COVID. Yeah. So like the hurdle, the brick wall, the speed bump, you name it, man, we ran upon it, and we just had to like figure it out. But God is good, man. God is good. Like we still here.
Now, with you and the different jobs that you had in the Navy, coming from undesignated to getting a job and getting another job, and now like, hey, you know what? I'm finna go and run the show.
Yeah.
As a command senior chief, command master chief, and stuff like that. So, what are some of the things that you learned through the Navy and just running, bases and stuff like that's able to help and kind of you still using to this day and running this business?
Yeah, man. So you got to trace it back all the way back to like the beginning of your time in service. And it's something that I offer people when you write your resume as you're about to roll out, right?
Yeah.
Everything you did means something in the Navy. Everything. Whether you was like RPPO or a hazmat locker, like all of that, you got to account for.
That job served the purpose.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Hazmat in.
Yeah, right. Like, just a little bit, just a little bit.
We all do. Yeah.
But like everything you do in the Navy, like is an investment in your future. Like whether it's a certification attached to it or whether it's just job experience, like that knowledge will pay out dividends. So you got to capture all of that stuff, right? So man, you name it, I've done it in the Navy, just like all of us. Once you look back on your service, man, you did. You was deckhead or ran a locker or locker leader. You did something in that repair locker. I was TAD down in hazmat. I worked in the galley, so I got that food handling cert. So
you got all type of qualities.
all of that stuff.
You got so many skills. Wrapped up and got spit out as like leadership.
Yes.
At the end of it all, they saying you have leadership to go any place, to do anything.
That's it.
The time that you was dealing with all of that stuff here, it's a burden and it's pressure. But in your mind, you're like, I've been through this one before. I've been through this before. Different type of situation, but the experience, I've been through it before. I know it's going to pass. Right. I'm going to fix it. It's going to pass.
That's it.
Because I've been raised to take care of issues.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't sit there and say, wow, it's the end of the world.
No.
And we get the moment sometimes, but I've been in an environment, it's like, well, this is going to be fixed.
Yeah, right. And I can fix it. I just ain't fixing it.
And I can fix it.
Yeah.
It's fixable.
That's part of like the Navy. And I think any military organization just train you to have like the fortitude to figure out shit.
You know what I mean? Remain calm in the midst of chaos.
Yeah, right, exactly. Right. And like that, I think that was probably like one of the most valuable lessons. Like, in fact, some of the spreadsheets that I captured in the Navy were like managing inventory and like load management, stuff like that, operational infrastructure. I just took what I was doing in the Navy and transferred it out here. So like I said, like Yeah, I left the Navy because I wanted to pursue this, but I didn't leave the Navy on bad terms. Like the Navy took real good care of me, man.
Yeah. So this is coming out of the box and just doing things differently with the challenges that you face, you know, having a distillery company, because you want to be able to market to any and every one.
Yeah.
You know, no matter the color, the gender, whatever. I'm providing something that everybody can sip on, relax, enjoy themselves, have a great time. So, have you ever gotten any bad press about, oh wow, you cater to this, you know,
Yeah.
this person, that person, whatever?
All the time. And you learn, unfortunately, you learn the hard way that you're just not going to please everybody. In fact, you're going to piss off most people just because people just want to be pissed off. Like I think I told you earlier, we do a bunch of different events here, from candle making to brunch to crab feast, all kind of stuff. We even do a drag brunch once a month, right? Every single time I go to advertise this drag event, man, you crazy people I ain't never seen or heard from before start commenting some real derogatory stuff on my page. You know, and it's, first off, it's just nasty and disrespectful. Like, it's just hard to imagine that you took time out your day to dump this much hate and like poison onto a group of people who don't give two shits about you, don't even know you exist, and they're taking up a lot of space in your brain. So I deal with that from that aspect, and I do a bunch of like, I do a bunch of political events here, whether it be fundraisers for like political prospects or campaign events for like the Senate races. Former Governor Hogan was here. He did a couple of Senate races here. And I deal with, from people calling me a turncoat because this man had done a campaign event here. A lady called me after he did an event here back in April. That was the first time he came. A couple of days later, a lady said, man, you got that Republican Hogan in your place. You're a turncoat.
Wow.
I said, ma'am, have we met?
Yeah.
I said, have you been here before? She said, I never stepped foot in that place. I said, that might be a good thing for both of us.
Right.
I'm not sure I want you coming nowhere. But it was just weird. So when he came back, now I got like a few people in the community said, man, we're going to hold off from like supporting your establishment because like either one, I'm an alleged Republican or I'm supporting this Republican candidate. Right. When in fact, they didn't count for the fact 3 days before I had his campaign event, I had a campaign fundraising event for a Democratic delegate in the state also. Right. But like, it's just like you're just not gonna please everybody, and I'm okay with that also, because if that's gonna be your reason to not support my business, then I didn't want your support to begin with. Right. And you'll come in here and start judging people for any thing. And we were very deliberate with respect to like the foot traffic aspect of the operation. Yeah, we want to be a safe space for everybody. Yeah. I don't care how you lean politically. I care if you lean towards hate. Right. Because I just naturally love people. I love people. I don't care what you do in your bedroom. That's your business. When you come in here, man, we gonna chop it up. Right. And we gonna hug it out too. Like that's just how I am. Right. You know what I mean? And it's okay to have differences. Yeah. But I'm gonna respect your opinion. Respect mine. And respect my business. I'm not gonna. That's it. Yeah. You holding on to something that has nothing to do with me coming here having a good time. Come on, man. Yeah. So we don't talk. If you got politics, you know, people got their feelings and how they feel about it. Yeah. But that's not where I'm at. I'm just talking about having a good time.
And you're from this area too.
Born and raised in D.C., right up the block. Yep. Yeah. So at the onset, you know, it's hurtful when you first get that message. Like, damn, man, like all the work I do in this community, and this is what you talk about. It's like, nah, that's okay, because like God got a different plan for me. Like He said, I need to start moving away from them type of people in there. Got tunnel vision. Yeah. Like, so I'm okay with that too. Plus, like I just don't align with like the groupthink type of mindset. Like I just right. I do my own research, formulate my own opinions. Right. So I'm okay if we just don't see eye to eye on anything. Right, and they judging you because you had some people come in and have it to celebrate. Come on, but again, they patronize Walmart's, the Targets, name a supermarket,
named Amazon.
They're the same ones praying that Chick-fil-A open on a Sunday.
They want Chick-fil-A to open on a Sunday.
But you're mad at me because
Right.
like so like the
Right.
the contradiction in the headspace
Yeah.
just get real weird to me at times. But like I say, like I'm not gonna spend too much time thinking about that. Like if they decide to come back, I'm gonna love them just like they
Oh
never
yeah,
left.
no doubt.
And I'm sure sooner or later, with the longevity that I'm projecting that you'll have, they'll eventually find their way back.
Yeah, yeah, man.
To the States.
Like I said, it's no hate for me. Like you're gonna spend time like protesting me. Like that's some energy that you can commit somewhere else to the positive. Like it's like I got that message last night. We about to have over 100 people in here tomorrow night. So
Right.
like
Right.
one, two, three different opinions. We gonna do okay.
Yeah.
Like my plan, God got a plan for us, and like I'm okay with that.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. So your time spent like you spent time as a MC, and we always thinking that y'all just taking pictures.
That's it. That's all we do. Take pictures.
Take a picture.
Re-enlistments.
Re-enlistments, showing up. Make sure
That's
we
right.
request y'all to come down and take pictures.
That's it.
You probably served and done a lot of things in your career. What was one of the exciting times as an MC that you like a duty station and that you had fun really doing your job at that command?
That's a loaded question, man. I had fun at all of my commands.
Right.
From baby third class PH3 up at O&I, Saipan, Comcam. I did instructor tour up Dinfos up in Fort Meade, back on Roosevelt as a departmental chief. Like, it's something about being a goddamn chief on a warship, man. We walk in that big deck, man. It's beautiful, right? So I've done a little bit of everything with respect to the community, but it don't get no funner than it does at a combat camera, man. We train to go fight, and then you get stuck right in the middle of that fight, and you get caught in some sticky situations. Sometimes not knowing if you're gonna make it out, but when you make it out, you get to laugh about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so.
Just like them combat corpsmans.
Yeah.
And you got them combat cameras.
Yeah.
Because you're taking photos or video of what's going on at that moment in time.
That's it. Everybody else shooting, and you shoot through the lens.
You don't even think about it, right?
Well, listen, I didn't even. This is like I'm really listening to you.
That's so we.
I didn't think that y'all be right there.
We
Man,
get the pictures, we see them.
you see the photos, you see the video.
Thumbing through the magazines, the
Yeah, you right there, like in the thick of it. I remember I won't ever forget my very first firefight. I was down in Al-Qud, Iraq. Never forget, March 25th, 2008. I had just got in theater. I'm sleep deprived, so I went and took a nap. Dude come bang on my door. He said, "We QRF. We gotta go out and get dressed." I was like, "I don't even know what QRF is." Like, but whatever, I'm gonna get dressed. Like I told me, so I throw the flight suit on. Because we in the desert, so I throw on that little tan flight suit. I just throw on something real quick. Like when you with special forces, don't nobody care what you wear, just shoot. You know? So I threw that on, and I remember praying before I left out. Jumped in the Humvee, because we had them Humvees at that time, before we had the MRAPs. We hit the gate. As soon as we come through as soon as we go through the checkpoint to leave the base, the fob, we ain't make it like a whole 40 feet down the block. Bing, bing, bing. We start taking shots. So my team medic, he up front, he in the passenger seat. He was like, "We getting shot at already?" Now he's the commander of our element. So he's like the team lead doing that element, right? So the team medic, he's like, "We getting shot at already?" Bing, bing. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're getting shot at, right?" Them ain't nickels hitting the window, you know?
Yeah.
So we drive up maybe another half block. He was like, "Fuck that." He's the call on radio. Stop the convoy. Convoy stopped now. The truck commander was in the second vehicle back. So we're in the second vehicle, front vehicle. He's stopped convoy. Everything stopped. He said, "Dismount it." This motherfucker got out. Now my responsibility is to cover him. I'm shooting video.
Right.
Now we getting shot at. He said, "Stop convoy, dismount." He kick out, he pissed off. I said, "Man, they shoot, why you getting out?" Like, they stay in the car. We like, I learned that on 14th Street. You stay in, you don't get out. Keep going.
Yeah.
He get out. I was like, fuck, I gotta get out. I'm getting out, and I'm hearing them rounds hit the Humvee. Ping, ping, or they whizzing past you. I had one thought on my mind. I never forget. I was like, I want my mommy.
Wow. Wow.
That's all I wanted in that moment. I wanted my mother, because from that point, my mother was the one to protect me up to then. I had this moment where I blocked for like, it had to be like 7-8 seconds. So we had we called him Trunk Monkey, but he was shooting. He had like a turret set up in the back of our Humvee, and he manned in the 240 back there. He said, "Herb, get your fucking head in the game." I snapped out of it right there, and that's when I started documenting. I kept my camera low, and right when I had to engage, you take it, you go to work. You know what I mean? You do what you gotta do. But I won't ever forget that moment. I just remember saying, "Man, I want my mommy." Yeah.
That's heavy.
That was my I had only been in Iraq for probably about maybe 7 hours.
7 hours.
Yeah.
And how long was you over there?
That
time.
That was 7-month deployment.
7 months. So that happened the first 7
First day.
hours.
First day on the job.
You was there for 7 months.
So in that particular incident, like, we fought hard for about 4 or 5 days after that one incident. I remember coming back. Like, we was out for maybe like 5 hours. So you get back, get some water, hydrate, debrief. So you got to debrief, right? And they all, like these special forces do, like that stuff, that's a sport to them. They live for that.
They live for that moment.
And I'm just sitting there like, these motherfuckers are crazy.
Crazy.
Because they good at it.
Yeah, they good at it.
I'm the camera guy.
Yeah, right.
They great at what they do. Like, they like all-star athletes, right? And I remember, like, for like the first 10, 15 minutes of the after-action brief, they slapping 5 and man, you see how I did over there? He started flanking and I tapped his ass. I made him walk into that 5.56 round like, bing, headshot. And I'm like,
they live for that.
These motherfuckers.
They live for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think we forget what our job assignment is.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we.
Well, that, and we really don't understand other people's job assignments.
Right.
Because again, we deal with a lot of different things. Rather you on a flight deck, somebody on the flight line, somebody on the submarine.
Yeah, right.
Someone down in the pit, lighting it up, to get it started, to get underway.
Yeah.
Our ultimate job is to
protect and serve.
That's it. And to hurt their stuff and damage their stuff more than they hurt, damage. And
bring the hurt to the bad guy. That's what we're here to do.
Because me just sitting there like, we building bombs, I'm like, he's going to be used somewhere.
Right.
See, like
Right.
But it's second nature.
But like you were saying on the flight deck, right? I remember in 16, I was on deployment on the Ike, and aircrafts leave with armament.
Come back naked.
They come back.
Yeah.
And when it's live, you ain't dropping it just to be playing.
Nah.
Yeah, you ain't playing.
Somebody making it home for dinner that night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not on that side of the world.
Yeah, right, exactly. So like,
but when you get in there and within 7 hours, saying what you saying about your mom, later on, what did you think about what was the rank of the leader?
he was an E6.
Oh wow.
He's an E6. I'm an E5. So on a team, like a special forces team full of Green Berets, the highest ranking is an E8, and the officer in charge is an O3.
You said this dude was an E6?
Yeah. I never forget. He was 28 years old.
Oh, he was a bad motherfucker. He was bad.
Man,
that's what I'm saying. He had to be bad to say, I'm going to make this call.
Right. Name was
You
Stitch.
see what I'm saying?
Look.
He had to be that bad of a person to say, nah, fuck this.
Yeah.
We about to get him this work.
He mad. He like, what, we getting shot at? Stop convoy. Dismount.
I think you're gonna say he like an E7 officer. Really, I'm about to think it was the officer you're talking about.
So when I got there, so the officer in charge was the 03. During that time, Raj, I never forget his name. He was 28 years old. I was an E5 at the time. Me and OIC was the same age. Look, when so much shit happened that day. Like, we taking sniper rounds on the right side of us. So where we dismounted from, right? We taking sniper rounds from a grain silo. Now, grain silo is critical infrastructure, so you're not supposed to hit it. But we got to defend against it because we taking sniper rounds out, right? So we taking sniper rounds. Then, like, they threw an RPG at us. The RPG, they just mismeasured it, so it went over the convoy and hit the wall on the other side of the vehicle. But the impact from the RPG, man, that shit hurt. Like, that shit run a kind of shockwave through your body. Like,
what?
Just shoot me, goddammit. Like, that shit hurt.
From the RPG?
Yeah, man? Like, everybody thought they got shot. Because you got to deal with, like, the impact, then the shrapnel. Like, it's just, like, one of the dudes got hit with some shrapnel. It was messy. So, Stitch, same dude that told us, he went around the back of the convoy, grabbed the big tube out, the AT-4. He put one right back at him. Now, that was such a beautiful moment because I watched, after we got hit, I staggered, got up, put my camera back up. I'm shooting live video, right? I kept the camera, for some reason, I just kept the camera on him the whole time. I got the video clip of him running around the truck, grabbing that AT-4 out, loaded up, woof. Now, all that smoke then just pulled out the back of that AT-4. Man, he dropped that motherfucker right in that window of that grain silo. Now, we had to go up to Baghdad and submit a statement. We had to fly. Because when you do stuff like, you got to go up to Baghdad, like, go see Big Brother and, like, get your ass chewed.
Right.
And he was just, all of us had to go because we had to, like, say, this is what we saw him do, this is what was happening. Yeah. But he went right around, grabbed that tube out, man, he dropped that motherfucker in that window like he was shooting jump shot. It was so, like, precise.
Yeah.
But I remember getting in the car, it was like, I'm brand new. Like, they trained together, all of that. Like, I just flew in, it was like, oh, this the camera, the Navy camera guy. You know, they Green Berets, so they like, this the Navy camera guy. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Stitch was like, look, just stay with me, you'll be fine. After them two instances on the first day, I was like, I want to be in a car with Stitch every goddamn time. Yeah. Stitch, you gonna take a shit? Here I come. Yeah. I want to go wherever Stitch going.
He got action.
Man, he want action, and he gonna give it.
Yeah.
Man,
he want that work like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
At 20, you said how old?
Man, he either 28 or 29. I think
young,
he was
bro.
like, but young boy.
That's young.
Crazy, man. But I say crazy, but everybody.
He was a fearless leader.
Yes.
Yeah,
and they are like exceptionally intelligent, man.
Yeah.
Because they fight their asses off, but they strategic as a motherfucker too.
And see, that's the part I think we kind of take for granted, right?
Yeah.
You know, but we go over there to do the age that we're doing.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I swear I didn't think you were gonna say something first class like E6.
No, he's young.
They had that type of pull though, like as an E6.
Yeah.
It makes sense in the large scheme of things, right? Because
you got people on ship that gotta get release authority.
Right. No.
But again, right? So think about it, right? When you're at that E6 pay grade,
Pinnacle.
How old are you? And the workload that you're doing, you know.
Yeah. But you're making a major decision.
Once you get past the E8, E9, you know, you kind of admin guy.
Yeah. So you out of the operational side of the house.
So you around that age when
you in that work, like
you know.
We never had. We had an 03. We never had an E9. Right. We had an E8 go out with us because he was team sergeant. So in the Army, the team sergeant on the Special Forces team.
Yeah.
He's an E8, Master Sergeant. He would intentionally leave shit out of his record because he didn't want to get promoted. He wanted to maintain his level of being an operator. Yeah. He knew once he made E9, he going up to the battalion level.
Yeah.
And do some other
and he
stuff.
just sit down doing admin stuff.
He said, nah, I'm an operator through and through. Like, this motherfucker had like 6 Bronze Stars. He would like leave like 4 of them out of his record so he would not get promoted.
Yeah, they out there like that.
Like, listen to me.
It's some people that they real war fighters.
And then they say crazy stuff like me. During this time, I'm 28, so my son 4 or 5 years old, right? And at the time, my wife and I just started dating, so this is our first deployment, right? We weren't married yet, but it was our first deployment. I can't wait to get home to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Team medic, Stitch, he say, got about 3 months left out here. We sitting there on the couch one day, we waiting to go out.
He said, how many months?
He say, we got like 3 months left out here. Gotta get my mind right. Gotta go home and play dad and husband. I said, play? I said, I can't wait. My son wanted to go cook his Chuck E. Cheese and go-kart.
Yeah.
You want to stay out here for this?
He want to stay out here. He wants to
They want to stay. They want to stay. I said, man, I got to get home. But when you get back, so after that first deployment, like your mind's changed, right? You got this mind shift, and it's like you sitting here and you thinking, I can't wait to relax. And it ain't no such thing as relax. Because like you done went through some stuff that you ain't never experienced before, and now you got to hold that the rest of your life, right? Yeah. Like I say, ain't no healing from that. Like you don't know how to deal with that, because now you got people looking at you like you're a science project, or you crazy because you went to the war. Like, nah, I ain't crazy. I just
seen some stuff.
I risked my life protecting yours. I ain't crazy.
Yeah.
Then it's like, man, I'd do better off going back over there, motherfucker.
Gotta get more respect over there.
Yeah,
they respect me over there.
I'm in more control over there.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't in control over here. Y'all look at me, you calling me crazy, you cancel me out. After that first deployment, I go, you gotta do what is it called, the PDHA?
Right.
You fill out the questionnaire. I remember the second question was like, first question, you feel suicidal? Second question, you feel homicidal? And I intentionally didn't answer that question. Doc said, I noticed you ain't answered this question. When I answered, you feel homicidal? I was like, Doc, what kind of question is that, man? And I was still at E5. I had been home like 2 days. Got to go over Portsmouth. I said, Doc, what kind of question is that? I spent the last 6-7 months of my life getting shot at. Why wouldn't I feel homicidal? He said, look, don't get mad at me. I'm just doing my job. And I said, that's all I was doing. Yeah. He said, well, how you want me to answer it? I said, however the fuck you want to. As an E5, this motherfucker was an 05. Doctor, Navy doctor. I still to this day, I don't remember what he did or how he did it. He just moved on. Because I was like, look, if I say, yeah, I'm homicidal, you're going to try to shove some drugs down my throat.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and if I say no, you're going to know I'm lying.
Right, because you know I seen some stuff.
Come on, man.
I dealt with some stuff.
You know where I just came from.
Yeah.
But he let it ride. My only hang-up was like, man, I was determined not to take no drugs. I did not want to take no drugs. One, because I wanted to deploy again. I wanted to deploy.
How many times you end up deploying?
3 total. Yeah.
Them tactical deployments?
Yeah.
3 in how many year period?
4 years. But I said, like, if I had a tour duty I had to pick yes, combat camera. Like, because you get to do some stuff that, as a sailor, that I would have never imagined I got to do in a million years. Yeah. As a sailor. Like, ain't too many sailors not on an IA. That was a routine deployment for us.
Right.
6 in, 6 out. 6 in, 6 out. That was battle rhythm of combat camera. You do 6 months on deployment, come home, do your little bit of R&R, train up, go back out. Like, and you go out as individual small unit teams. Like, so it'd be me, another E5, and like a chief. Chief up in Baghdad, I'm down in Al-Qut, my man up in Mosul. Like, we shoot an email every 3 or 4 days, and we out there getting busy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Looking back, man,
That's
definitely
real.
crazy.
Because I know around that time, what was the IA big? What year was that?
So right after the initial push, so when we was going through Baghdad, that would have been 0304. That's when the
IA started. Yeah. They started moving.
Yeah.
And people going over there.
Yeah.
Especially sailors.
Yeah.
Because that's not.
That wasn't
that wasn't
seashore rotation.
Yeah, that wasn't the seashore rotation. And people say, oh, that's not what I signed up for.
Right.
But people were going over there.
Yeah.
It was crazy because people was going over there doing the IA, but then they get hit. What was that thing where they were putting people out? ERB. You done did an IA.
Yeah.
Then a couple years later, they hit you with an ERB and they sent you home.
So man, I gave you all I had, and this is how you say thanks.
Yeah.
And wonder why our mental fucked up when we get out here.
Yeah. But that IA thing was real, man. Like, people was going. I never had to go.
Yeah.
But people were going. And it seemed like they chose, like, the people that volunteered to go, they were like spot on people. Like, they wanted to go. They like that. They was in that thing.
Yeah.
But the people they made go, they didn't pan out too well.
Nah. Look, we had we didn't. I personally never went on the IA, but that was also because I was already in like the combat deployment.
Yeah.
But we did have people at Combat Camera to serve in the IA capacity, though.
Mm-hmm.
What I hated most about the IA, because you know, from a leadership standpoint, that billet don't get filled because that body gone for a year and a half. That body's still accounted for on your distribution in your inventory. So it's like, look, I just lost my number one first class. He gonna be gone for 18 months. He over the dirt.
The Navy was hurt.
It's like, man, what?
The Navy was hurt.
Let's say here you got him for another 12, 14 months. So now I ain't got him. He out. You just sent him. That ain't my problem. Manage your unit.
Yeah.
It's like, goddamn, you gonna fuck my ass, kiss me in the mouth first. At the end of the day.